And good afternoon, softball fans, and welcome out to the Eagles Nest here on the campus of Louisiana Christian University. I am Doug Gann alongside of Nick Morrow, and this is regional round softball. Winner of this goes on to the quarterfinals. What's left, you say? The quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the state. So the dash for Frash is in full effect. Frash, not that far away from where we are in this one, but we've got a couple of big ones for you tonight here locally in central Louisiana. The Holy Savior Menard Lady Eagles welcome in Ouachita Christian into this one. Ouachita Christian coming into this one in a pretty good spot. This is a 7-10 matchup, and you know how those go. Anytime you're picking anything, 7-10s and 8 and 9s, you go out and play them. Both teams playing hot right now. Menard just as hot as anybody. Menard, of course, the defending state champions here in Division 4, and so they are looking to try to repeat and get back to Frash, but they know we talked to Coach Brad Turney and talked to Sawyer Shelton, one of their seniors, and Kaylee Methvin, and they know that it's one game at a time. But we're delighted to have you here with 446 Sports. Our friends from OCS brought their streaming crew up, so a big shout and a big welcome out to those guys. Delighted to have them on here. But let's take a look at the starting lineups tonight for both of these teams. Starting lineups tonight are brought to you by Jerry Lee and Company. For all your menswear needs, sportswear, women's wear, they've got that too. Go by there and check out Jerry Lee and Company. Find out who Jerry is, find out who the company is, but you should have a good one. Other game going on before we get to those, Ash and Turlings Catholic. That's an 8-9 matchup in Select Division 1 going on across the subdivision there at Alexandria Senior High School. Elle Melder is back, and expect her to be in the circle for Alexandria. But I digress. Here, the starting lineup for the 10th seeded Ouachita Christian Lady Eagles. They come into this one here. Leading off with Kennedy Rapon. She'll play first base. We're number 14 in bat leadoff. Gracie Price will play second and bat second. She wears number 21. Behind the dish, wearing number 2, is Kelsey Bruce. She will hit third. Cleanup here tonight for OCS. Stormy Mike, M-I-K-E. She is the shortstop. Here wears number 00. Number 7, Lily Price. She is the right fielder. Bats in the 5 spot. Number 6, batter tonight, number 10, Addie Morris. She is the left fielder. Batting 7th, number 4, Grayson, G-A-R-C-Y-E-N, Grayson Rapond, R-A-P-P-O-N-D. If you're scoring at home, she is the center fielder. We'll see her right in front of where we are. Batting 8th, and the designated player is Brienne Green. She wears number 22. She'll hit for the pitcher. We'll get to her momentarily. But batting 9th, Alaya, A-L-A-Y-A, Frith. The third baseman bats 9th. She wears number 9. And in the circle tonight, fresh off of a no-hitter on Friday night against Hanson Memorial, it is Kaylin Head, K-A-I-L-Y-N. Kaylin Head, she is the pitcher that we've heard so much about. She slings it from the right side, throws the ball very well. We're getting a look at her warming up on the side over there, and you can see Nick zooming in on that, and you get an opportunity to look at the right-hander that can bring it out of the circle as well as anyone. What a game this is going to be, because you've got a senior who pitched her way to the state championship a year ago in Kaylee Methvin. And let's take a look at that batting order for the Lady Eagles tonight from Holy Savior Menard. Leading off, a familiar face there in center field is number 18, senior Sawyer Shelton. Batting second, number 20, the shortstop, Emma Davis. A little bit of a defensive change for them tonight. Kenzie Lyles will bat third and play third. She wears number 9. Addie Wright, number 17, the first baseman. Addie Wright in the cleanup spot, moves over from second back to where she played all year last year at first base. Behind the dish, Kate Parati, number 1. She is the catcher. Parker Albanian will play second base tonight. Belle Drago is in left field, and she bats 7th. Kaylee Methvin in the circle. She'll bat 8th. And Mika Keogh, the right fielder, will bat 9th. No designated player in the lineup tonight for Coach Brad Turney, so they'll bat 9 and play 9 tonight. In this one, you get a look at the Lady Eagles circling up. Look, this is an important one. It is win or go home in this. And when you get into this part of it, man, you just never know when that season is going to be over. We'll keep an eye on some of the other scores that are going on around the way. Ouachita and Hahnville. Ouachita up on them. Ouachita Parish 3-0 in that game. And we'll make sure that these are the softball games because they kind of blend together in there. Sent them on Dutchtown doing battle. Eunice trailing Bruley in that one 2-0. So that's some other scores. Doyle on top of Manny. A lot of big games tonight. Airline and East Ascension. East Ascension, one of the top 4 in non-select Division I. They hold a 1-0 lead over Airline in that one. Riverside up 3-0 in their game, and so that gives you an idea. Laranger, the Lady Wolves, up 1-0 over Buckeye in that one, and no score. Ponchatoula, a 1-0 lead over St. Mary's. Grant up over South Terrebonne 4-0. Acadiana and Tioga just getting ready to get going. E.D. White, Kenner Discovery, the Swamp Owls, one of the best names in sports, the Swamp Owls. Notre Dame and Sumner getting ready to go, as is Sterlington and Lauraville. Look, we won't have the updates that we had last night, but we are going to go online probably 9:30 or 10 o'clock, and we're just going to visit and talk about things. Let's get a look in there at home plate of what's going on. There you go. Boy, we're right inside the batter's box there. That is our batter's eye. And getting ready to do it. But Doug Gann alongside of Nick Morrow, excited to bring you playoff high school softball. Boy, it happens so quick. We madly get through the season and you jump around. This is to get you to the quarterfinals, which would be played on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. I saw one game already scheduled for Wednesday, for tomorrow night, which would, the winner of that will go to Sulphur, and they'll have 10 days off before they play again. So 3 official lineup out there. One of them does look familiar to us. It's our old buddy Sam. He'll be in the field tonight in this one, and a longtime member of the Alexandria Association has made his way to Lafayette now, and so good to see Sam back up here. Got to visit with him a little bit before as the umpires were doing their walk around. I'm glad to see him here. The boys baseball starting to make their way out. They've got games, and they're backing those trucks up. Here's the problem with it, too, and Nick might be able to get over there and see that. We'll see if he's able to get that shot of those guys. Yeah, switch over. There they are. There's some of those Eagle ball players making it the way out to support their girls. What happens is the fence is so high up here that I still wouldn't be able to see over. They've got to scooch up. They're scooching is what they're doing right now, but they'll get a good look at what's going on. And getting back to action here, again, we tell you there is a lot going on around the way tonight. Got a few games last night, and they'll finish up with a couple of games tomorrow. It'll be the first time, I think, that I've seen a regional round game and a quarterfinal game on the same night, and that will happen tomorrow night. Of course, hope you enjoyed our graphics that we put up last night. Stayed up late into the night making sure. Started out with a LaSalle 16-0 win in that one. Pineville with a big win. They advance, and talked to Coach Allison Fry. She is heading over to Tioga tonight to watch that Tioga-Acadiana game. That's a 7-10 game. The winner of that will go to Pineville this weekend to play there. Also, we've got ASL softball and baseball coming up this weekend out at Ward 9. We'll have that for you. We've got Ash baseball back on. Menard baseball is on the road, so we won't have that. And the Lady Eagles or OCS, whoever it is, depending on how that game goes tonight with the Lady Apaches of Glenbrook, they are the 2 seeds, so that would make them, that would send folks up to Glenbrook to do that. You get a good look at the OCS team getting ready to come out. They'll have their Donovan Davis on PA. We'll get that going momentarily just as soon as those guys. And you say, well, man, what's taking so long? They're just taking a little bit longer because this is playoff time. And you want to make sure that everything gets spelled out correctly. Speaking of spelling things out correctly, you see our Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard. Make sure you check that out for anything that you need. Wallace Eye Associates. And, of course, our Sadler's Towing scrolling scoreboard is there. And then a host of our sponsors, Sheriff Mark Wood. But let's turn it over now to our public address announcer.
Your Holy Savior Menard Lady Eagles. Tonight we're proud to host the second round of the Division IV Select Softball Playoffs as your Lady Eagles take on the visiting Ouachita Christian Lady Eagles. Leading off for Ouachita Christian, playing first, number 14, Kennedy Repon. Batting second, playing second, number 21, Gracie Price. Batting third, catching, number 2, Kelsey Bruce. Batting fourth, playing shortstop, 00, Stormy Mike. Batting fifth, playing right field, number 7, Lily Price. Batting sixth, playing left field, number 10, Addie Morris. Batting seventh, playing center field, number 4, Grayson Repon. Batting eighth, the DH, number 22, Brianne Green. Batting ninth, playing third, number 9, Aliyah Frith. And your pitcher, number 23, Kaylin Head. Ouachita's head coach is Brittany Head, and their assistant is Daniel Kirkendale. And now, the Division IV Select defending state champions, your Holy Savior Menard Lady Eagles, leading off, center field, number 18, Sawyer Shelton. Batting second, shortstop, number 20, Emma Davis. Batting third, playing third, number 9, Kenzie Lyle. Batting fourth, playing first, number 17, Addison Wright. Batting fifth, playing catcher, number 1, Kate Parati. Batting sixth, playing second, number 3, Parker Nalbanian. Batting seventh, playing left field, number 12, Annabelle Drago. Batting eighth and pitching, number 13, Kaylee Methvin. Batting ninth, playing right field, number 31, Mika Keogh. The Lady Eagles are coached by Brad Turney, Hunter Arnott, Charles Stallone, and Carl Lau. At this time, we ask you please rise and remove your caps and join us in prayer, followed by the national anthem. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Father in heaven, we ask your blessings on the game that we're about to play. Give each one of us the courage to play the game in a manner which by our words and actions is pleasing to you. Let us enter into this competition in the spirit of sportsmanship and with respect for the members of the opposing team. We ask you, Father, to bless each one of us, especially the coaches, officials, parents, and players. Keep us under the protection of your Son, Jesus Christ. Help us to be aware of his presence with us now and throughout this game. We ask this in Jesus' most holy name. Amen.
And that'll get us back and ready to go here in this one. First pitch was slated for 5:30. Going to be about 3 minutes behind that time they get this going. There's a look in at Methvin. She and Kate Parati getting loose there. Kaylee Methvin, the senior right-hander, will throw the ball. She's got a variety of pitches, probably throws at 63, 64. Headed to Millsaps College is where she'll go. She throws that rise ball a lot. She's got a changeup for a strikeout, can come back with a curveball, but she likes to pound you with that fastball and get ahead in the strike zone, as a lot of pitchers do. And interestingly enough, that one got off her leg. I'm glad she got that out of the way now and not there. They'll get a new softball in. Again, let's look defensively for your Lady Eagles. In left field is Belle Drago. In center field, Sawyer Shelton. In right field, Mika Keogh. Third base is Kenzie Lyles. Shortstop is Emma Davis. Second base tonight is Parker Nalbanian. First base is Addie Wright. In the battery tonight for your Lady Eagles, Kaylee Methvin is in the circle. Kay Parati behind the dish. Let's get settled in for a big one tonight. There you go. We got Bell, and now all is well in this one. Leading off, it'll be Kennedy Rapond, Gracie Price, and Kelsey Bruce to lead things off for OCS. The Lady Eagles and the Lady Eagles set to do battle. And we are just about underway in this one. Let's take a look inside. There you get a good look at Rapond. Methvin fires away and busts the strike zone, which, as we told you, with fastball for strike one. Get our Wallace Eye Associates scoreboard up and going for you and working correctly. That one fouled back and out of play, and it's 0-2 quickly. Oh, 2 fastball is there and had a little bit of a curve onto it. And the count will remain there at 0-2. And there you get a good look around the field here. We'll get you settled back in. Kayla, the 0-2 once again, drops that one down low, and it misses for ball one. One ball, 2 strikes here to Kennedy. She'll lead things off here. That is the OCS first baseman. Methvin will rock back and fire this one. And that is a check swing number, a little slap over to Nalbanian, gets it away and out at first. Good looking play to get things going, and let's see if we can take a look at that one more time. Here you see the pitch, and that is just a check swing number, a little slap over to Nalbanian, gets it away and out at first. But that will do it for out number one. Good looking play to get things. And that's going to get Gracie Price, the second baseman, in there. Go inside and look at Gracie. Methvin will rock back. That rise ball up and out of the zone is there. Misses for ball one. Leadoff hitter retired 4-3 on the out here. This is Gracie Price that will step in. Kelsey Bruce will be next. That one ground over towards backhanded play. Across the diamond. Not in time. Just safe there. Another close play. And let's take a look at that one more time as well. You'll see the backhanded that one play ground over towards Emma does a great job. Sets herself across the diamond. Not in time. Just safe there. Another on the camera there by our man Nick Morrow, and that does put a runner at first base. Man's a celebrity, he said. And this will get Gracie Price. That is scored a base hit. It's an infield single. And that's got Price at first base. We'll see what she's able to do. Get everything settled in for you. That one lined out to center field, giving chase is, and it just, never at once checked up did the runner there, and that one was a good fly ball
lined
out
to
center
the
field,
gap.
giving
Sawyer
Chase
comes up and
his,
plays it just as quick as anybody can.
Never at
hustling
once
around was Price, and
checked
she's
up,
gonna
easily make her way to third base, and that's back-to-back base hits. And you've got runners at first and third for Stormy Mike, the shortstop, the cleanup hitting shortstop. But I'm telling you, that was just a young lady that was off and going with that pitch. Never once checked up. Good-looking base hit there from Price, and we're back to from Bruce, and we're back to action here. Again, we told you Stormy Mike stands in, ready to go to work. Rise ball up and out of there, and that is ball one. Again, Alexandria and Turlings getting set to do battle here in this one. On 446, they're on the Pelican Softball Report and on our YouTube page. They're on Roku and all of those devices, so make sure you check that out. Pitch just misses up and out of the zone, and that's 2 balls and no strikes. Swung through that one. Good-looking fastball from Methvin. It's the first strike she's thrown in a couple of batters that hasn't been hit. Stormy would like to cause a little damage here in this one. That one out to Shelton in center field. They're tagging. There'll be a play. It's up the line, banging around, and that's going to get a shot down to second base. Good-looking throw, and in time for the out there. And so the run does score, but they'll get double play is what it turns out to be. And let's see if our camera will get us back far enough. I think it will, and we'll try to take you through all of this. You see it lifted out to Sawyer in center field. They're tagging. There'll be a play. It's up the line, banging around, and that's going to get a shot down to second base. Good-looking throw, and in time for the out there.
A little wider on that on
and so the run does score.
That will do it. We'll be
back
after this.
Double play is what it turns out to be.
Softball on 446 Sports.
Coming back here in the bottom of the first, you see Kaylin Head finishing up her final warm-up tosses there. We'll get you settled in just a little bit and looking at that. Fixing our camera in live time. Sawyer Shelton will lead things off. Shelton, Emma Davis, Kenzie Lyles. Boy, Sawyer started with a leadoff triple the other night and was stranded there in that last final regular season game. Or I'm sorry, 2 games, their final home game. The senior will step in ready to go. Twice during the time that we've been doing this, we've been mentioned during the senior speech. Shelton was one of those the other day. So big shout out to Sawyer. That is a ball taken off the plate. They're not going to give her anything inside, but you got to remember Sawyer can go out and get one as well and drive it over towards left field. Head will rock back and deliver here. Good spin on that. You see Kaylin's got a lot of spin to that pitch, sort of a drop ball that stayed up high. Kalen will rock back, deliver this one, and that is taken in there for strike one. And Sawyer was taking the entire way. There's no doubt about that. That's what a good leadoff hitter is going to do. But she gets herself in a zone, whether she's going to jump first pitch or not. This time she's not. She's working the count on hit. Let that dugout get a little bit of a look at what she's doing. Here's the pitch. Drops inside, and that is going to be a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Sawyer trying to get things going and lead off with an on-base opportunity. Good-looking pitch again. So 5 pitches, and Shelton has not swung yet. She is truly working that one. This will be one that she's got to either get on or protect or put in play right here. It is full count offering there, up and out of the zone, and that is going to be a lead off base on balls, a 6-pitch at bat. And that's how you want to do it for your leadoff hitter. Emma Davis will step in. Get a look in at Emma as she gets into the screen. That one also up and out of there. And Sawyer over at first base. Very patient on this one. Squaring to bunt that one. He does go after it. And that's a ball and a strike. Coach, you see that Coach Brad has determined just how important these early runs are, as he's got Davis up there in the first inning looking to bunt this one over. 1-1 offering is lifted out to right field. It's going to be gathered in there. They throw back towards Shelton, but a good job by Price to come up, or Lily Price to come up and get that one, and that is an out. Watch her drift back and in there. They throw back that one and get it back Shelton, in. Thought they were going to be able to get Sawyer Price to come up, or Lily Price to come up and get that one, and that will get us back to out. Live action here. Pulled over to third base, bobbled a little bit across the diamond. They go. Sawyer falls down just a bit. So Shelton's there at second base. She was with a leadoff single. And there's a look in now at Addie Wright. That was Lyles that was out on that ground ball towards third. And Addie Wright now, it'll be up to her to see if she can tie it up. But let's get you caught up, as boy, that last little scenario went quick. That one in there for strike one, so let's get that adjusted too. The head will rock back and fire this one. It is ground over towards third. It's going to be gathered in by Frith, but foul. And we'll go back to work here. Nothing in two. Quickly to Addie Wright. Up and out of the zone, and a ball and 2 strikes. Head rocks back, trying to get a clean inning here after her team picked up a run in the top of the first. That one is pushed foul and over near that netting. And the count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Doug Gann alongside of Nick Morrow, 446 Sports. KP and Eric Mouton and Brett Stallsby on the call across the subdivision at Alexandria Senior High as they welcome in the Lady Rebels of Turlings Catholic. Head at 1-2 offering. Driven out to center field. Oh, it's gloved there at second base. What a play at second to get out of it, too. Just jumping up was Gracie Price, and we will let that take us to the break. No runs, no hits, no errors. One left on when we come back. They welcome in the Lady Rebels of Turlings Catholic. Head at 1-2 offering. Driven out to center field. Oh, it's gloved there at second base. What a play at second to get out. Back to work we go here in the top of the second. Lady Eagles of OCS lead this one 1-0. It was an RBI from Kelsey Bruce to get that in. And let's take a look over. Ouachita leads Hahnville 3-2. We're looking for Alexandria and Turlings. That's a good-looking strike in there from Methvin in there for strike one. Santa Maula up 4-2 on Dutchtown. Bruley on top of Eunice. Lady Cats 5-0. Second one up and out of the zone, and that is a ball and a strike. This is Lily Price. We'll get a good look in at Lily there. That one lifted high. That one lifted back, giving chase is Sawyer. You won't be able to track it down from here, but she does. That's the one spot that we don't have on here is that one in center field. But good work by Sawyer Shelton there in center field, the senior taking care of business. Alexandria on top 4-0. They had a big 4-run first inning. El Melder, 2 innings of work. Good to see El back throwing for Alexandria. Boy, that changes things up with her back. They went from the 2 seed to the number 8 while she was gone. That one up and out of there for ball 1. That one hit pretty good from Price, but that's an F8 in the book, and Addie Morris will step in. Took something off of that rise, and it's also 2 balls and no strikes. So 4-0. Alexandria leads that one. It was a Melder base hit. She's back in the cleanup spot that drove in a run, and a couple from Marley Fletcher that does as well. Fletcher with a triple that cleaned the bases. Here it is 1-0. 2 ball, no strike count to Addie Morris. Swung through that one. Good looking fastball, and that is in there for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike to Morris. Boy, it has cooled off nicely out here, too. I know we were sweating and battling the heat just a week ago. Methvin rocks back, delivers this one up and out of the zone. 3 balls and a strike. Good crowd that has made it here from both sides. A lot of green in the stands tonight. Both teams are green. Green and white, it looks like OCS, and green and gold. Familiar green and gold of Menard. That one swung through. Good-looking fastball is driven back to the fence for 2 balls and a strike, and starting to feel a little bit of raindrops out here, and that never does good for equipment by any means. 3 ball, 2 strike count from Methvin. She's looking in at Addie Morris. Swung on and missed, and that is a Sabine State Bank strikeout. Let's take a look at Sabine State strikeout right here. Swung on and missed, and that is a Sabine. That is the first one of the night, and that's a couple of outs here in the top of the second. If it goes to raining, folks, we will end up stopping our broadcast as we are under bout. As we told you, we're starting to see some drops. That one Methvin looking into Gracie Rapond. That one ground over towards first base. Addie's going to have it herself, and that will retire the side. We'll let that get us ground over towards first base. Addie's going to have it herself. 3 up, 3 down. And that will do it. We'll move on to the bottom of the second when we come back. Back to work we go here in the bottom of the second. We will stay with this one just as long as we can. Kate Perotti, Parker Albanian, and Belle Drago due up here. Again, we can't leave the equipment out in the rain. So I'll tell Nick, too, if it starts to raining, we're just going to take it and put down. The number one thing that we'll do is get that camera down, and we may get it out of the rain here in just a moment, but we'll try to stay with you as long as we can. So if you see an abrupt end to this, it's because the rain is getting us, and we can't stop that. That one low and misses ball one. This is Kate Perotti, the catcher for the Lady Eagles. First thing we'll go is laptop stuff and down and just put in there. We'll sort it later. That's a little technical talk. You guys just had to hear that, but that's how we get out of any rain that comes in. The radar's not looking promising from where we are. Kaylin, K-I-L-Y-N, Kaylin Head misses that inside, and it's 3 balls and no strikes to Perotti. Perotti, the catcher, if she gets on, they'll run for her. Expect Lashney to run. Maybe Ledette may come in and run. Spins that one off. Started at middle of the plate, but got away from it there. And we're going to actually go ahead and pull this camera. So we will have the full-size camera for you that is on. We won't have the tight shots on there, and we'll keep this one. That one up and in. So that's 5 straight out of the zone for Kaylin after having a pretty good inning in the first. So now we've got that. Perotti did reach. Drago squaring around a bunt. And that's now 6 straight. Boy, Texas A&M, they would be after her. Our man Eric Mouton, they've pulled up on that game over at Alexandria. Looks like the rain may have gotten them, which just across the subdivision. Bounces around, and that's going to send Perotti down to second base. Cheering for the wheels of Kate Perotti there. She gets around. She gives 2 thumbs up. She's going to score on a wild, or get to second base on a wild pitch. And, man, that is now 7 out of the zone for Kaylin Head. She'll rock back and deliver this one That one is in there. And so oftentimes you see these pitchers, if they miss something just out of the ordinary, it'll keep missing. Once they get settled and zoned back in, and Kaylin did that there. Ball 4 and back-to-back free passes for the Lady Eagles. Have runners at first and second for, that was Parker Albanian is who that was. So Parker Albanian with the walk. Now you may get a runner for Parati. We'll have to see. Nope, coach just giving the signals, and that will get Beldrago in there now. That was Parker Albanian, so and they'll go out. Will Coach Head and visit with Kaylin just a bit. She gets high fives from around the way. Good to see Kennedy come over there and high five her up a little bit. That one misses out and off the plate. Kaylin has thrown 9 pitches out of the zone here to the first 3 batters. That is a ground ball up the middle. Going to bounce off of, oh, there's a play at the plate. Good looking throw, but not in time. Parati comes all the way around, and that is an RBI single for Beldrago. Let's see, I bet we don't have that. Let's take a look, see how far back this one goes. We do have it. Pitches out of the zone here to the first 3 batters. That is a ground ball up the middle. It's going to bounce off of, coming in. Good looking. Oh, there's a play at the plate. Good looking throw, but not in time. Parati comes all the way around, and that is an R. Does get the first run across for the Lady Eagles. They'll keep the runners at first and second for Kaylee Methvin. Methvin went on a stretch where she hit 3 home runs in 3 consecutive at-bats over 2 days and 2 parishes. That one up and out of the zone. Did that in that game against Iowa. She hit a couple of them and then came back here and hit one in her opening at-bat, and she was just seeing it as well as anybody was at that time. So we play in the bottom of the second. That one bounces around. It's going to get back to the fence. And that will move now Albanian and Drago up 60 feet each. So Parati comes around to score. Parker's now at third and Drago at second base. And another visit, and they're getting the rosin bag out there, it looks like, and that is going to be a Tire Discount Center pitching change is what we're going to see. Let's get the name of the young lady that is coming in to pitch in this one. That is Lily Price that moves in from right field. So you'll see Kaylin Head. It looks like they'll make a couple of different adjustments on there. We'll see where they're going to put Kaylin. It looks like they moved her over to second or first. But we're stay with this one just as long as we can. Fill the droplets, but the bad thing about this is it'll be an instant shutdown if that happens, because we'll take and just start putting equipment up. And we hate that, but Mother Nature, when she's got other plans, and look, there's supposed to be a lot of rain coming in this weekend too, to an area that certainly needs it. But I don't guess you can say that you need rain and then turn around and fuss about when it decides to rain. I don't think you can do that. You're not supposed to be able to do that anyway. Pitching change here in the bottom of the second as just a couple of strikes thrown by Kaylin Head, and she is going to move to, I don't know where she went. We'll have to get an idea. We'll catch up with everything. But, again, this is Lily Price that comes in from right field, and she will be the new pitcher for OCS. 2 balls and 1 strike now as she comes in and gets the first strike. The Lady Eagles trying to get something brewing here. Price will rock back and deliver this when it's up and it's out of the zone, and 3 balls and a strike. The man with the plan has made his way. Nice looking shirt there, my man. It's similar. We'll get him settled into it. This is Kaylee Methvin. 3 balls and 1 strike. Again, nobody out. Eagles have scored the equalizer. Methvin watches that one out of the zone, and that is ball 4. That is the 3rd walk to go along with 1 base hit in this inning. And let's welcome in my brand new broadcast partner, Eric Mouton. Eric, what's happening, buddy?
Not much, man. I can't hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Oh, I know what's wrong with you.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, man. Survive and advance.
We said that. Walking from your truck to here?
I'm a little winded. Actually, I ran here because I love the Lady Eagles so much. I want to see them.
I hate that, and look like Alexandria, and we'll get back to that after this pitch. This is Mika Keogh that stands in, ready to go to work. But Frith now in the circle here. She moved over from third base. Or I'm sorry, from right field is Lily Price. So Price misses there too. But it was 4-0 is what we saw. The Lady Trojans on top in that one.
Yeah, they jumped on them in the first inning with a couple of nice hits and then a big triple all the way to the wall. 2-run triple gave them a crooked number in the first inning. I think they'll be fine as far as the rain goes to be able to get that game in. And I think Ash, they look good, and the pitcher was back from an injury and pitching well.
Elmelder has been out the last month, and look, that's a very rough stretch for somebody else. That one lifted high. That one back, giving chase off the glove of the right fielder. 1 run is in, another coming around to score. There'll be a play at third, but not in time. And they are loving it. Mika Keogh having herself a time out there, and let's take a look at it one more time.
And look, that's a very rough
rock back and just hammer that one.
Boy, she thought
that one lifted high.
Enough of this when they watch it just bang off the glove of
the right fielder.
The tarp, they get it around, and a couple
1 run is in, another coming around to score. There'll be a play at third, but not in time.
And is back up.
They are loving it. Mika Keogh having herself a time.
Just missed that one. Probably hit it halfway up the wall. Left fielder almost made an unbelievable catch as she is able to get a glove on it. Couldn't bring it in. And all the momentum right now with the Lady Eagles.
Yeah, Eddie Morris came in there. So to catch you up on things, OCS took a 1-0 lead in the top of the first. And it was scoreless in the bottom of the first. Kaylee Methvin settled back in. Now the Lady Eagles have put up 3 here in the bottom of the second. This 7-10 matchup, the winner of this looks to go on up to Glenbrook, you would think. Glenbrook, the number 2 seed, that would be the quarterfinal ball game. But Elmelder was out for a month with a leg injury, had some fatigue on there, and threw a lot. And so they dropped from 2 down to 8. And boy, that's rough on somebody that's playing an 8 seed, and you got your stud pitcher back.
KP mentioned I think they lost every game that she was out, but she was impressive in the first inning and a half that we got to see. She was hitting her spots.
She had the triple too, didn't she? Didn't she have? You don't know? Yeah, I thought what I looked and it saw. No, it wasn't. It was Fletcher that had the triple. And there is a walk, second walk of the game for Sawyer Shelton. And that loads the bases back up for Emma Davis. And, boy, the wheels are starting to wobble for OCS here as they already have made a pitching change.
Yeah, big spot here. They could blow this one wide open. Bases loaded, nobody out. This could be a big inning for the Lady Eagles.
Price will rock back and deliver this to Davis. That one is taken in there low for strike 1. Yeah, and so you talk about the seeding and the draws and all of that. You expected Alexandria to be a 3 or 4 seed, but time had gotten to them just a bit, and so they dropped down to the 8. That one is right back diving stab at it, not going to do it. Safe and not in time, and that anybody but Shelton is probably out right there. But Sawyer does a good job.
That one
just
is
watch
right
the
back
end of this one.
diving
on your
stab
screen
at it,
there,
not
to
going
go
to do it.
Safe
Not
and not
able to
in
get to
time,
it,
and that
though, and that
anybody
scores a
but
run.
Shelton is
probably saved
out
a run with
right
that
there.
diving play right there. That's a great play by the second baseman across her body. It wasn't the glove side either, but she's able to knock it down, saves a run, but the big inning continues.
Yeah, that's an RBI for Emma Davis and Kenzie Lyles, who's got the power to turn one around and get it out of here. This is that duck and cover drill, my friend. Well, you look like ESPN Plus days. How about you got your monitor there, man?
It's big time, baby.
That's
this
right.
is big time. Great view, great shot. Oh, nice rise ball. Maybe took a little off of that one, too.
She did. That's the first one that we have seen slow down and rise and get out of there.
Yeah. It just looks so good to a hitter, Doug. You think you're going to hit that over the building back here, and the ball just keeps moving up. You can't get your hands up that high.
That one right back where it came from. There's going to be a little glove. Oh, nifty
Wow,
looking turn
got
inside.
her.
Double play. Are you kidding me? Let's take a look at that one more time. That certainly scored the run.
Moving
but,
up,
oh,
you
baby,
can't
what a
get your
big
hands
play.
up that
Watch it
high.
on your screen here. That one right back where it came from.
Thought she
There's
might
going to be a
step
little
on the
glove.
bag
Oh,
and try to throw it
nifty
herself,
looking
but she
turn.
gets it to the
Double
shortstop
play.
on
Are
the
you
move.
kidding me?
4-6-3.
And the bad thing about if her taking herself, she's got to stop and turn, and she had no time, and she recognized it. But Stormy Mike able to just fire over to first and get that. So 2 outs here. Run does come across and score, and the runner now is Sawyer Shelton at third. That one checked into the side over there, the netting where Coach Turney is. So that is an RBI ground out. The 5th run does come across in this inning, and man, anytime you can put up 3, 4, 5, 6 in an inning, that's big time. That one lifted high. Canicorn, drifting back as the
look
second
out.
baseman. Oh, coming in, boy, they were in no man's land on that one. Sawyer Shelton does come around and just explain that to him.
Yeah, second baseman, it's her job to go until she hears something, and I don't think the center fielder was totally confident that she could make that play, so she never called her off. They're lucky they didn't have a more serious collision and somebody get hurt right there, but I think both of them did their job. Second baseman has got to go until she hears something. She was never called off.
Kate Perotti, who walked and scored back in this inning, represents her second time to hit. Now, this is the 10th player to bat this inning. I think you'll take that every day and twice, as they say on Sundays.
No doubt about it. The rally continues. Let's see if they can have a little 2-out magic here. Maybe put a few more hits together and really blow this one open, but a comfortable lead right now for the Lady Eagles.
Look, I have seen teams that struggle, and every team goes through a stretch. But, man, it's such a cliche, but they talk about hitting being contagious.
It is. It's like free throws and jump shots in basketball, man. When you see one of your teammates, one of your guys start doing that, a lot of times the rest of the team will.
That stays on the infield, coming over there and making that, and that will retire the side, but not before the Lady Eagles put up a big 6 spot in the bottom half of the second. 6 hits, 4 runs, 1 error, 1 left on after 2 complete. 6-1 in this one. Lady Eagles will be back right after this. Back to action we go here, and the Lady Eagles put up a 6 spot and do a little tumble out there in center field. And this is Breanne Green, Alea Frith, who did go in to pitch. Or no, correction, the right fielder, Lily Price. That's twice that I've said that Frith is coming to pitch. But it's Green, Frith, and Kennedy Rapond due up here in the top of the third. Kaylee Methvin set to deliver. Rocks back, fires this one. Ground ball past the diving Emma Davis. Davis is going to come into center field, and Sawyer will get that and get it back in and take us through that on your screen here for the replay. Set to deliver. Rocks back, fires this one. Ground ball past the diving Emma Davis.
Yeah,
Davis
good effort from Davis right there, but aggressive hitting.
And
first pitch right over the heart of the plate. She drives it right back up the box. Davis with a great dive to her glove hand, can't come up with it, and a leadoff single here.
Look, and this team, this OCS team, has battled throughout the year. All you've got to do is come back and you don't got to get 5 of them back right here. You just got to come in and get a couple of them.
Yeah, you need base runners. You want to try to keep the inning alive as long as you can and maybe just get a little bit closer. You don't expect to get them all this inning, but fight, scratch, claw, try to get back into it, and then play defense on the other side. Make sure they don't get any more.
Well, you go back to that big shot by Parati that went off the glove. What a difference that made. And had it not been for that big-time double play, too, there's no telling where you're at in that inning.
Yeah, no doubt. It got all the momentum, and that double play took a little bit of wind out of the sails. Looked like they might have been able to put up 10 right there, a 10 spot, and that was a big double play. Speaking of double plays,
got to run it down now. Boy, and that's how often do you see when somebody makes a bobble like that, they're unable to recover. She found the ball, found the bag, and got the out.
I like that play. It looked like from the start she was just going to make that play. When you have this lead, go ahead and go straight to the bag. She was a little quick, bobbled, but you're right, kept her composure, picked it up. A little bit harder, she may have gone to second base and tried to get that double play or at least cut off the lead runner. But with a big lead, you make sure you get the out.
This will get us back to the top of the order in Kennedy Rapond. Rapond ground ball out to Parker Albanian at second base to lead things off. And so we've got one down here, nothing in one to the leadoff hitting first baseman Kennedy Rapond.
A little off speed right there to the slapper. Looks like she was way in front of that one because of the changeup.
Methvin rocks back, delivers this one up and out of the zone. You know what you got to be careful of is getting too relaxed when you get when you've got a few runs up. You got your big pitcher in the circle, your stud that won the state championship with you guys, heading off to Millsaps, but she's got work to do here. That one misses low. Well, we were able to talk to Kaylee before the game today, and laser focused. I mean, she was just there to go and do work.
Yeah, and you want to throw strikes with the lead to make them earn everything. Don't give them any free passes. A lot of times those will come back to bite you. So fill it up, throw strikes, let your defense play behind you. There's a nice pitch right there, fouled off to the back screen.
Yeah, that one pushed foul, and over there near that Lady Eagles third base dugout. Lady Eagles, barring something unforeseen with a win tonight, would be on the road. This would be their final home game because there is just one more before you get to Frash. Following this one, that's the quarterfinals. That one, line drive up center field. Boy, Sawyer played that so well. That's a good-looking base hit, though, by Rapond, and we'll take another look at it. Following this one, that's the quarterfinals. On the replay, up that the one middle, line drive up center field. And I like the way Sawyer just got in front of it. Played that so well. That's a good-looking base hit, though. Defender tried to go and play it on the side and come up and scoop. She just bodied it up and kept it on the infield and kept that run from scoring.
Yeah, and the runner on second, probably a hard hit ball. She was not going to score, so keep that in front of you. If you had a speedy runner on second, it's a do or die. You know, you're going to come in with that one hand, try to scoop and throw it to home plate, see if you can't get that out, but keep it in front. And again, a little something cooking here for OCS.
Look, and that's what, with just one down here in the top of the third. Methvin rocks back, fires. That's right up the middle. She'll go get the runner at home. Boy, that couldn't be worse. And that was just now they'll snap back down, and that just couldn't be. We'll look at it again here. This ground ball is hit right back to Methvin. That's right up the middle. She'll go get the runner at home. Going on Boy, that couldn't be worse. And that was just now they'll snap back down. Good-looking play for the first out.
Yeah, I think Green might have thought that was going to get by the pitcher. If that gets by the pitcher, they're probably going to try to turn to the run will score easy. And again, if you're on defense, you'll give up that run to get one out at least. But on contact, and Methvin fielding her position, that was a hard hit ball. Made a nice play, quick hands, and cuts down the runner at the plate.
Should be Kelsey Price that is in there now. Runners at first and second. So that is a fielder's choice officially scored. That one is pushed over towards the tennis court and bounces around out there. pickleball courts, whatever they want to call it these days. I think that's still tennis.
I think it's still tennis. Pickleball's huge. Maybe with the older community, you get a little more pickleball. But right now, I'm sure
You see where that reference went, then, didn't you? That's right.
I'm sure Menard's tennis team is working hard trying to get to state if they're not there already.
That one pushed foul and will find its way. It's now 30 love.
Stay there.
30 love. How about that? There's a tennis reference in all of this. 0-2 the count here. What do you have on yours? Is that was I right about that? That should be Bruce, Kelsey Bruce, the catcher that is hitting. That one lifted foul again, and that's the third one, and it is Bruce that is there. Kelsey Bruce had a big base hit her first at-bat, but she was doubled up back right before you got here. There was a fly ball hit to the outfield. The runner tags up, and that was the run in the first that gave OCS the lead. Ball is up the line, but the runner takes off from second, and they Parati with the return throw home got her.
And Ouachita Christian making Methvin work here, up to 38 pitches.
39 is up and out of the zone. And that's ball 2, is it? Ball 1? Ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, she's way ahead. Went with the rise ball, trying to get her to chase something out of the zone. Good plate discipline there from Bruce to take that. Wait for something she can drive, something she can hit.
Methvin rocks back. Swung on and missed, and that is a Sabine State Bank strikeout, and that will get us to the bottom of the third. Watch Methvin just blow it by her. Swung on and missed, and that is a Sabine. Just her second strikeout of the game. Boy, you're on that plan, aren't you? We'll be back right after this. 6-1, Lady Eagles lead it heading to the Menard Lady Eagles lead it heading to the bottom of the third. Back to work we go here in the bottom of the third. Lady Eagles look to get back after it here.
Hey, were you critical of my game changer plan?
Absolutely, I was. Yeah, that's certainly without doubt. Without a doubt.
Loan me $5 so I can get an upgrade.
Right. Let me upgrade you. Parking Albanian will lead things off here. Now Albanian, Drago, and Methvin due up in the bottom of the third for the Lady Eagles of Holy Savior Menard. Got to be careful with that because OCS, the Lady Eagles as well. Ouachita Christian in their green and kind of an off gold. That's not as bright of a gold as that one lifted high and fouling back out of plate. Now, I wasn't critical. I was just surmising that you had a different plan.
You're right, and OCS has that's the Acadiana Wrecking Rams look right there.
Speaking of Acadiana and the Wrecking Rams, they are in town tonight in Cenla across the way at Ward 10 playing Tioga in a 7-10 matchup. That one lifted high and back, but camping out right there in right field, and that's a spot that was vacated by Price. That is Price that is out there, but that is the other. It's Gracie Price So Price moved from second, and she'll move out. But, yes, the winner of that plays the Lady Rebels of Pineville this weekend. And Pineville won their game last night. And so you've got a potential Pineville-Tioga matchup in the quarters, or a big Pineville-Acadiana one. That one misses out of the zone and a ball and no strikes. So there was a lot of softball in town. Tioga and Acadiana, of course, Alexandria and Turling's Catholic, and we'll get you an update on that score here momentarily. That one over towards the right to those folks down in Hahnville. Let's take a look at this. I got to imagine I was driving KP crazy earlier because we were logged in under the same game changer.
Oh, boy.
And it was logging him out each time. So 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You don't need to stress KP out any more than he already is, man. Get him on his game changer. What's his plan look like? He's got a bigger plan than me?
He was sharing my plan.
I got you.
And that's where you can only have access to one of them. And I've probably I've confessed to game changer fraud somehow on here. We'll get a score for you from Alexandria. It is 7-2. That one is driven out into the gap, and that's going to bang the wall, and Parati's got one off of the wall. She's going to hustle in, play in it just up the line, and Beldrago hammers that one out there. Let's take a look back at it from Bell. That's going to bang the wall, and Parati's got one off of the wall. She's going to hustle in. She had double on her just up the line, and Beldrago hammers that one out there.
No doubt, shopping at the gap, and you're right. Price has been staying away from these Lady Eagle hitters here from Menard, and a lot of them fouled off. That time, Drago drives it to the opposite field, keeps her head down on that ball, a missile to the gap, and you're right, she had double the whole way, never slowed down, slides in safely.
Swung on and missed by Methvin. And Melder in a little bit of trouble there, has allowed a couple of runs here as they play in the 4th, and you got base runners at first and second with 2 out, though. So we'll keep you. Vitt is batting for Turling's Catholic. That one rises up inside to Methvin.
Yeah, and she wants to be careful with Methvin. You got a base open, 1 out right here, because she could definitely add 2. With 1 swing of the bat, we've seen it happen many a times. Staying away from her again, change up off the plate.
Look, here's what the problem is. That when you try to pitch around these batters, you've got one behind and one behind that's been doing damage, hitting from top to bottom in the lineup.
Yeah, pretty much pick your poison. Who do you want to throw quality strikes to? You want to nibble, you want to stay inside, outside, work up and down. Oh, that's a nice pitch over the outside. She got the call, too.
That's one of those that as a batter,
wow.
If you're sitting 3-1, you're hammering that 2-1. I think you just say that's not the pitch that we want.
That was a pitcher's strike right there for sure. Great pitch.
If you can throw there, you're going to be successful. That one lifted up into the zone a little bit and fouled back, and they'll replay the 2-ball, 2-strike offering.
Yeah, she was maybe a little late. Maybe she was looking for some off speed. And Methvin at the last second pulled the trigger. She definitely has a quick bat. She's able to get a piece of that one to stay alive here at 2-2.
Melder catches a foul ball out for the final out there. They move to the bottom of the 4th across the way in Alexandria.
Another quality pitch there, a little sinker that Methvin swings over the top of and gets the top part of the ball to foul it off and stay alive.
Speaking of that Acadiana-Tioga game, let's take a look and see if we can get you an update on that one, trying to keep you up to date on everything. Had a good conversation with those folks the other day down at Acadiana. Sabine State Bank strikeout. Good-looking pitch on the inside corner. Take a look at it here on your screen again. Works inside, but had a little bit of tailback on it.
Had a little movement there to the right-hander. Breaks back over the inside part and does catch the black right there. That's a great pitch and a big out to get her, to get Methvin right there on the strikeout looking.
They are playing in the top of the 4th, and we'll give you an update on there as that one is in there for strike 1. And currently it is Tioga 3, Acadiana 2. But you've got, and Fallon Harrison is in the circle for Tioga. in this one. Xavier Menard is there at second base. There's a ground ball over to third. Bounces shy, but able to scoop and get that one. Good work over at first base by Rapond to retire the side. So a little bit of damage, but no run comes across, and we will move to the top of the fourth. It is 6-1. Lady Eagles of Holy Savior Menard when we return. Back to work we go here. In this one, it is 6-1. Lady Eagles of Holy Savior Menard with that big second inning lead this one. Boy, and Eric, you just get in that where you have that, they call it a throw-up inning, you know. You just have a bad inning, and, man, you get a pitcher like Kaylee Methvin who has state championship winning experience. That's tough.
Really is. Try to get base runners, and then you're going to need a big hit. You're going to need something in the gap, maybe a home run if somebody can drive one out of here to get back into this one. But I would not want to be down 6-1 against Methvin.
No, not at all. They are tied up now in the top of the fourth. Acadiana pushed a run across, and the bases are now loaded still with 2 down. Methvin fires this one inside off the plate and low, 2 balls and a strike. So you saw we picked up a St. Thomas More player for our All-Star game. How about that?
I did see that. That's a pretty good little player. As I was talking to Coach Wag when I did that interview, we talked a little bit after.
Yeah,
she was really high on her. Young one, huh?
29. Yes, she is. And there's right back up the middle. Boy, right from whence it came. And that is a base hit there. Good-looking base hit. That is Mike that had that. Stormy Mike. You got to love that. You got to love that name, Stormy Mike. She's got a base hit there. She was retired back in the first for the second out, but a leadoff base hit, and that's what you want to do if you're trying to scratch back in this one, and Lily Price will step in.
Yeah, it's a good at-bat, too. She waited for her pitch, and Methvin fell behind, so came back with a quality strike over the heart of the plate, and this OCS team hits the ball back up the box a lot.
They do. I'm going to tell you, I don't remember a time seeing, because you remember the Menard base hit was off the leg of the pitcher, too, that was in there. I've not remember a time that there's been so many that have been hit right up the circle.
And they're aggressive, too. They're getting up there, taking their hacks. When they get a good pitch, they're putting the barrel on it like that.
Just like that. That goes to Drago. Drago keeps it in front of her. Very good fundamental play. Gets that over to third base. Seems like she's been to the doctor of fundamentals. My goodness.
That is fundamentally sound.
How about that?
She noticed there was some spin on that ball, waited a split second longer, barreled it up, line drive, base hit, first and second. Nobody out here.
Well, back-to-back base hits. Addie Morris will step in. Addie Morris, a strikeout victim back in the second. That one hammered out there, and Mika Keogh comes up and gets it. My goodness, let's take one more look at that one. Goodness gracious, hope we've got enough of it, and we will. That
just right off the bat
out there. Mika Keogh comes up and gets it.
There's no gap
My
out here.
goodness, let's take one more.
That is a big-time
One more
play.
look
Remember
at
that play right there. If she don't get to that, that's to the wall and probably a 2-run triple. And she's able to keep that ball in front of her as she moves towards it, makes the catch, and keeps both runners where they are. So first and second, 1 out.
What he said.
Correct.
Goodness gracious. Grayson Rapond now will step in. And look, that goes in the book as an F9, but don't be fooled by that. My goodness, she came over and big-time play.
Big-time play. Across her body, too, as it was to her right. She's a right-handed player, so the gloves on the left reaches across on the run. And you can see her center fielder, Sawyer, loved it, too. They celebrated a little bit.
I don't know if anybody's having a better game than Mika Keogh in this one. She's the one that hit the ball over here that went off the glove and then comes up and makes this play over here. Wow. Ball and a strike here to Grayson Rapond.
Getting it done on offense and defense. Remember that play.
She's saying, look, I got time for a LV5K Player of the Game shirt. Happen to have one in the car for just such an occasion.
I'm sure she would love to add that to her wardrobe.
Yes.
And wear it proudly.
Absolutely. Mika Keogh came in and was crucial. She'll pitch some this year. She has pitched some this year. Has played well, has Mika.
I got a question for you after this pitch.
All right, Methvin now getting set to deliver the 1-2 up and out of the zone. 2-2, shoot.
What are Menard, the baseball team? They finish up? Where are they?
Oh, no. They had a bye and then went on the road. So they are somewhere starting Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah,
they're in a 3-game series.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not home.
Okay.
All of them except B and C play 3-game series.
Which is strange. It's kind of up to the classification on how they want to handle the play. Like my son's at Opelousas Catholic coaching there, and they just have, it'll be 1 game.
But aren't they? Well, no, they're Division 4, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
That's strange.
I
thought that all classes were doing that.
No.
Interesting.
Yep. The baseball coaches vote in their particular class on whether they want to do a series or a game.
That one fouled back over and right again, and Methvin seems like she has gotten pumped up from that play by Keogh, and she is settling in and throwing strikes here, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and that's what competitors do. They give up a couple of hits and maybe a little momentum swinging the other way, and she says, hang on a second. I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to carry my team, get on my back, and watch this.
That one lifted out. This time it does come down to the gap here. And look, had to stay, had to hold up. Oh, what a big play that was.
Yeah, you got to go halfway. You can't get doubled up in that situation. You got to read it. You got to see if she's going to, if the left fielder picks her glove up, she's probably going to make that play and you can get back. So you got to inch a little further. Man, I know coach over there at the third base box would have loved to get that run in right there, but you got to be careful.
Look, and after the big play that was just made by Keogh, you have this with Drago giving chase to it, and goodness, Methvin now with bases loaded and just 1 down here. OCS trying to capitalize. There's a smoke shot, bobbled around. Oh, wow, that fell right in her glove. My goodness, that could have been dangerous. Here, OCS.
Yeah, and that's the do or die right there. She comes up and she knows she's going to maybe try to have to cut somebody down at the plate. It hits the heel of her glove, pops up.
That could have been
dangerous. She gets it in, only 1 run across.
Folks at home able to see that one again. That keeps the bases loaded, but does bring the 2nd run across in this one. And the infielders will just settle in. And Coach Turney doesn't have a problem with just letting those girls get together and work it out. And you like to see that. But that is 4 base hits out of 5. Not sure what's going on there. Did they not call time? Trying to listen. See what some of the hollering's going on about there.
There's a little conference at first base, and somebody went over there and tagged one of the girls to see if they would have called her out if they didn't call time. I don't know, but doesn't look like they gave her the out.
No, not at all. The old hidden ball trick. That's difficult in softball when you can't leave the base early.
And that's a bright ball, too. It's hard to hide it.
It certainly is.
So now Coach is going to visit with the home plate umpire.
He's going over there and saying, wait a minute, I didn't call time. They just went in there together. He won a big argument the other night in that Pine Prairie game. I best not bring up the past on that one, but on that obstruction call. And just out there discussing things, say, wait a minute, they just got together. We didn't call time, but you're going to get it. That's there's no doubt about it. Time will be called on something like that. And you can see on the screen, Coach Turney's going, you sure? And on plate's going, yep. You sure? Yep. Bases loaded here, one down already. One run across in the top of the fourth.
Corners in here, so if something to first or third or back to Methvin will probably go to the plate to cut down that run. Ground ball up the middle, they'll probably just take the out and give up the run. Ooh, that's a good pitch.
It's a real good pitch. Look, and that is the potential tying run at the plate here now. After that big 6-run second inning, this OCS team is fighting and fighting.
Yeah, this is Frith up there, number 9, over 1 today.
Up and out of the zone for ball 1.
And I like the way the Methvin always comes back with something different. That first pitch, a little sinker low and in. Then she comes back with something up and away, trying to get her to maybe chase something out of the zone or foul it off. But she does not come back with the same pitch very often, which keeps them guessing.
Swung through that one high. Fastball in there for strike 2. So now, partner, how big was that catch that Keogh made in left field now, right field?
It wasn't big.
Right.
It was huge. It was huge. This could have been, man, they could have put up 4 or 5 in this inning.
Yeah.
If she don't sprint over to her right and make that play. Now let's see how many OCS can scratch across.
There's been 5. Oh, that one bounces around, and that's going to, flying down. They did not have a chance at that young lady who was zinging down. That was Price that makes her way in to score, and that is second run of this inning, third of the game, and the lead is cut in half. Runners move up 60 feet.
And that's a good read, too, because if she gets a glove and catches that, she's got to hold, but she took off as soon as it hit her glove, and she saw it go to the backstop, and that one maybe just held on a little too long from Methvin. Nothing the catcher could do.
Nothing that Parati could do about it. Yeah, that one up and out of the zone, fills it up. And you are getting back towards the top of the lineup here as Frith represents the 9 spot in this one. But it's been 5 hard-hit balls this inning. 1 of those were caught, but the other 4 have resulted in a couple of runs. Methvin will rock back and fire. This one swung on and missed and down on strikes, and that is Sabine State Bank strikeout
Methvin
number 3. Watch it on your screen. This one swung on and missed and down on strikes, and that is.
There. Kind of started up and then sunk a little bit, swung right over it. So now 2 outs, runners at second and third, and back to the top.
Yeah, this will bring Kennedy Rapond, and she had that big base hit her last time up. Rapond 1 for 2 on the day.
Yeah, she's a slasher, but she does have a little pop.
And look, her first time up, she actually pulled that ball, just tries to check that that's off the glove. You're not going to get her. Bounces around, score the run. Yeah, that was just Rapond just too fast.
Yeah, that's all she wants to do from the left side. You want to get kind of that head start, take a couple steps up in the box, and just put it on the ground somewhere to the right side and beat it out.
Top of the fourth we play in this one, and OCS has answered that 6th spot with 3 of their own, 6-4 in this one.
They really have, and now some speed at first base. Something in the gap or down the line might tie this one up.
Expect her to be off and going, too. Outfield kind of drifts around a little bit, expecting Price to not be able to get around, but that's tough. You saw that off-speed pitch, and you're moving. Those 2 things don't go together.
Absolutely saw it. That's a great pitch. Price takes it. Nothing she could do with it. She was just frozen.
6-4, top of the fourth we play. That one pushed foul and down the line is going to end up again. Boy, they're collecting them over there on the tennis court.
They sure are. A lot of foul balls that way from both teams. That was a high fastball. She just gets under it.
And
fouls it to the right side.
And the 2 big hits have been pulled to this side, 1 for each team.
Yeah, you want to try to see the spin, see what's coming, and if you can wait on it, you can barrel it up. Ground ball.
Ground ball over to now Banian, flip to first, and it's dropped and score the run. And I don't know that the wheels are off, partner, but they are wobbling.
No doubt. You got to get out of the inning right there. And good hustle down the line, too, from Price. sometimes you hit a weak ground ball to second base. You don't hustle. You kind of dog it down there. She sprints.
Over to now.
And I know the
Banian
first
flipped
baseman
first
had been a
and it's
bang
dropped
play,
and
but
score the run.
first baseman
And
squeezed it a little
I
too
don't know
quick.
that the wheels are off. And look, there's been some changes to the lineup, too. They had Adeline Ledette at first base most of the season. Moved Addie Wright over there back to her normal, comfortable position where she was all year. Now Banian in there second base, and things have went a little chaotic. There's another shot, and that could tie things up. Keogh coming around throwing. We're going to have a play at the plate. Is Keogh doing it again? No, safe at home, and we are knotted at 6. Oh, baby, what a play.
Keogh did all she could. Made a strong throw, too. Threw a strike.
All year.
All the
now
way
Banian
down
in
there
second
to
base, and things have went
to
a
home
little
plate, and
chaotic.
we
There's
are
another shot,
tied,
and that
here
could
comes
tie
Coach.
things up.
Well,
Keogh
Keogh
coming
come
around
in
throwing.
just
We're going to have a
firing,
play
and
at the
that
plate.
one just
Is
missed. You
Keogh
got a
doing
bang,
it
bang
again?
play
No,
from
safe
Keogh
at
to
home, and we
Parade.
are
We were able
knotted
to see it
at
all on our
6.
screen.
Oh, baby, what a play. But big time work. And so
Keogh
one
did all
in
she
the
could. Made
first, goose eggs in the second and third, but a 5 spot off of Kaylee Methvin here in the fourth, and just 2 outs. And you and I have talked about it so many times, the effect both sides mentally on 1-2 hitting as a team, what it does for you, but not being able to get the final out either.
Yeah, against good teams, you got to get that final out. It always comes back to bite you. It's like walking the leadoff hitter or walking the 9-hole. All of those things come back to bite you, and right there they didn't get out of the inning, and now we're tied. And again, momentum. It's a game of momentum. All the momentum with the team in green and gold right now.
Look, this is Stormy Mike. She started everything off to lead this inning. So 10 batters hit for Menard in the second inning, and now 10 batters have come to the plate for OCS in the top of the fourth, and that explains why we're tied at 6.
And you never want to be the one to end that rally. So everyone up there is really digging in and concentrating and locked in on trying to keep the inning alive. See if they can take the lead here.
That one popped up. Going to drift back is now Banian. She'll settle under this one, and that will retire the side. But let's take a look at that last one, that last little progression
now
here.
Banian
on that second base and things
or
that
that
went
shot
a little
over towards
chaotic.
right
There's another
field
shot, and that
gets
could
in
tie
there,
things
and
up.
that's when
Keogh coming around
saw
throwing. We're
Keogh
going to have a
come up
play at the
throwing,
plate.
unable
Is
to get
Keogh
the
doing
run,
it
and
again?
that's
No,
what tied
safe at
things
home,
up.
and we are
My
knotted
goodness, we'll
at
be back
6.
right after
Oh,
this.
baby, what a play.
Keogh did all she could. Made a
Back we go here. 1, 2, 3 due up for the Holy Savior Menard Lady Eagles, and Alexandria starting to open things up over Turlings Catholic. El Melder pitching a gem has allowed just 1 earned run. It's 10-3 in that ball game, and look like they're trying to set up a quarterfinal matchup on their own. We'll keep you posted on some of those other scores around the way as well. But here it is Sawyer Shelton and Holy Savior Menard as she tries to poke that one down the line and pushes it foul. We play bottom of the fourth here.
This 1, 2, and 3 for Menard.
1, 2, 3. It is Sawyer, Emma Davis, and Kenzie Lyles.
Yeah, now you go from, maybe trying to get big innings to playing for 1 run. Get a base runner, maybe move her over. You just want to try to get that run across to take the lead back and try to get the momentum back into your dugout.
Bounces low and a ball on a strike. Yeah, that's just, boy, what a big inning for OCS there. That one inside to Shelton. She's going to drop that. If it gets by, that'll be a couple of bases. It does bobble around, so Sawyer's there. Pulling in is Shelton for an leadoff double there. She's got it.
Did I say single or sack bunt or just hit a double?
It does bobble around, so Sawyer's there. Yeah, that's pulling in is Shelton.
So good. It's just such a good piece of hitting, too. It's kind of a slapper,
double
but
there.
She was on balance. She kept her head down, didn't pull it out, and just drove it into the gap. Stand-up double to start the inning.
The other night, we saw a leadoff triple from Sawyer to start the game.
Now Davis, 1 for 2, stands in against Price, takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Speed at second base, so a clean single will probably have Shelton trying to score here. Outfielders are pretty deep. There's a good spot inside corner for strike 1. Coach playing for a big inning maybe right here. Probably letting everybody swing away. Oh, she's right when I say that, because I thought about saying maybe she was going to lay it down and try to get her to third base, but she does square around and gets hit.
They're going to come out and talk about that. Was she going after the ball when she got hit? But I know they're going to come out and bring the crew in.
And she also, Doug, tried to drag bunt, so her body kind of went over the plate. I don't know if you got a replay of it, but
well, I did before. Let me see how far that one
She was going to lay it down and try to get her to third base, but she does square around and gets hit.
They're going to come out and talk about that.
She going after the ball when she got hit, but I don't know.
Discussion going on right here.
And they do put her on first base and said, "Yep, that's correct." So. No, just reading one of our comments about we can't cover 2 games at once. Wow, but we're not going to put our equipment out in the rain, so that's a good way to get blocked too. Sarcasm will get you blocked quicker than anything will. I promise you that. So, and anybody that's watching may be watching this game, and if that's the one that made the comment, he'll know about it. So, look, here's your opportunity. Don't watch. If you're disappointed with what we do and provide for free, don't watch it. There you go. How about them apples?
I like it. But if you do watch it, you're going to get a quality product.
You're going to get a great product. Yeah, boy, don't nothing aggravate me more than that. I'm telling you what. So Sawyer on at second base. Hit by pitch has got Emma there, and Kenzie Lyles now steps in ready to go to work. That one up and out of the zone. Ball and a strike here.
Lyles thought about swinging at that one. Those high pitches a lot of times are too good to pass up, but she did a nice job of taking that pitch right there. First and second, nobody out. Little rally time here for the home team.
In fact, it is. Drops back and fires this one in there. Misses inside and off the plate. Had a little tail to it. Back towards it. Kind of dove into Lyles there.
Yeah, it didn't miss by much. Maybe like a little screwball action, breaking into the right-handed hitter from the right-handed pitcher.
Get a good look on your screen there. Shelton, who led things off with a double. So a double and a hit by pitch. That was just money down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, really good pitch right there. A little bit up on the outer part, but had a little zip on that one. She said, I'm going to come back with a strike. Let's see what you can do with it. Now we're at 2-2 right here. Let's see if she can move the runners over or get something to the outfield. Good take.
Yeah, up and out of the zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and you don't want to walk her ahead of Addie Wright. Going to get a good pitch to see because you don't want to load them up. This should be one that she's able to handle. Swung on and missed, and good-looking pitch there and down on strikes. The Sabine State Bank strikeout.
Swung on and missed, a good-looking pitch.
I tell you what, in that situation, to throw that pitch, a little sinker, it was out of the zone and low, and you mentioned it. Lyles is looking for something dead red right over the heart of the plate, so she swings right over it. Give Price a lot of credit for throwing that pitch. That's her 49th pitch.
That one misses off the plate. And look, she came in relief, too, so Well, we do know somebody is listening to it. We appreciate the round of support there from you. Without a doubt, we do. That one off the plate, and so one down here, 2 balls and no strikes. We'll get that up to date for you. Runners at first and second, and the other day, what was it? The final home game we talked about in that game against Hicks, who is number 3 in Class B. That one pushed down the line, and Sawyer's going to chase around to do that. That'll be picked up by the right fielder. Hustling in, sliding late, but safe. What a good-looking slide that was.
That one pushed down the line,
now on your screen at home. It's picked up over in left field, comes hanging around. But watch this slide to duck right under and get that, man. That was good-looking work from Davis to just duck under and get that. But Addie Wright picks up the base hit. She'll go to second on the throw, give her a single, and second on the throw.
And Davis taking a chance right there. The ball right in front of her. She can see it. Morris comes up and makes a strong throw. But you're right, that slide around the tag of Frith. She's able to get in there. Now second and third with the lead, 1 out.
I'll go back out and talk to Addie just a little bit, and that has a chance just to calm her down a little bit. Kate Perotti, who has hit the ball well, had a walk in that third inning and scored one of those runs, or the second, pardon me.
And give Wright a lot of credit, too. Stayed away from the left-hander, but she's able to drive it the other way instead of trying to pull something. A lot of times you hit a weak ground ball to second base. She drives it out there for a big RBI.
Bounces around, and a good job keeping that in front of her. That is Bruce behind the dish. And look, you don't have to catch it every time. You just got to block it up and keep it in front of you. That's all you want to do there. That one in there for the strike, so evens things up. Evens things up at a ball and a strike. Runner at second and third. That is Emma Davis, who is at third. Second base is Addie Wright. Had a single and took second on the throw. That one poked over to the right side. Just going to hit foul and bounce around. Perotti trying to do some damage there.
Corners are in here for OCS. So a ground ball to shortstop or second base would get that run in. Back to the pitcher. Should probably have to hold up. You do not want to make an out at home. Not forced, so anything on the ground you can hold. There's only runners at second and third, nobody at first.
Roxback fires this when the ground ball is over towards first base. It'll gather in. Perotti giving chase down the line, but was a little bit of a collision there. But that is an RBI base hit, and that is now another run, make it 8-6. And that's just putting the ball in play behind the runner and letting them score.
That's exactly right. Put it on the ground. Didn't hit it very hard, but you're right. Put it in play. Put some pressure on the defense, and anything on the ground, especially a weak ground ball. A hard ground ball to third or third or first, probably have to hold up. But you're right. That's a great piece of hitting. Put it on the ground. Sacrifice yourself for your team. That's a run.
Up and off the plate for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. We play, there's been 7 runs now in this inning, 5 in the top of the fourth, 2 here in the bottom of it to give the Holy Savior Menard Eagles the lead back after 5 runs in the top of the fourth, tied it at 6.
Yeah, they're going to battle. They're not going to hang their heads for long. I mean, you give up all those runs, you're like, well, man, maybe we can't do it. Hey, let's get back in the box. Let's get this lead. They're back to being up 2.
Well, look, and that's exactly what OCS. Oh, look now. We got a little Coach Turney there. He missed that. And he won't turn and look at us here. He'll point at me when he gloves one, but he won't do it this time. He won't look out here. Got my eyes on you, Turney.
I'm going to blame it off the fence. It was a bank shot.
That one up and away, and that is ball 3. Oh, yeah, when he gloves. So we gave him a little grief last year. If you could imagine me giving someone just a little grief last year when he would miss one. He put in some work in the offseason. He's been fielding them pretty well, and when he fields one, he'll point out here to us. I didn't see no eye contact that time. 3 balls, 1 strike. Inside, ball 4. Now putting runners at first and third again. That was Parker now Banian, and Beldrago now will step in. So Drago 2 for 2 on the afternoon, having herself a day.
She really is. This would be a big 2-out single here. Let's see if they swipe second to put the other runner in scoring position.
Lifts that, doesn't have a chance, camping out under it in right field and making the play, and that will retire the side, and we'll let that get us to the break.
Scoring position.
2 runs come across bottom of the
Lifts
fourth.
that, doesn't have a chance.
Holy Savior Menard leads this one 7-5.
Right field
I'm sorry, 8-6.
And making the play, and that will retire the side, and we'll let that.
Back to work we go here, leading things off. Get that in there for you just a moment. They hit through 10, so that should be the batter after Mike. Should be Louis Price that's in there batting. But it doesn't look like it because it looks like it's 2 numbers on there, but we'll get that popping up for us in just a second. 8-6. We play in the top of the 5th. Now, let's get all of this updated for you.
That is number 7, Price.
There you go. Lily Price leads off.
1 for 2 today.
That one bounces low, and it's a ball and a strike. Lady Eagles in the middle of the dash for Frash, trying to get back to Sulphur. Boy, you know, they tell you the harder than winning a state title is going back down there and playing for it again. Riverside and Glenbrook hold the top 2 seeds in Select Division 4. Both of those teams are playing tonight. We'll see if we can get a look around the league at what's going on. Quitman, of course, that was from the other day. Bell City comes back and beats Holden. That one misses inside, and now 3 balls and 1 strike. So you got to come out as a pitcher like Methvin and come back and get something going.
Yeah, with that lead, 2-run lead, no free passes. Fill it up, throw some strikes, make them put it in play. There's a nice pitch.
That one lifted back. Keogh is there, and she'll grab it almost to a step and get that one for out number 1.
Methvin battles, falls to 3-1, but comes back with a really good pitch and a fly ball to right field for out number 1.
That's absolutely what you want on a 3-1 pitch, is one that goes right there. Hicks, the number 3 seed, all over Oak Hill. Their season will come to an end tonight. It's 17-3 in that game. The Hicks Lady Pirates lead Braley Cetus and Livy Garcia and that Oak Hill Lady Rams team. Stanley on top of Grace Christian, 5-0. Stanley, the 1 seed in Class B, looking to knock off back-to-back state champion Quitman. That one in there for the strike. But Quitman playing as good as anybody, 0-1. We're giving you a look around. Winfield Lady Tigers up 7-0. Coach Ronnie Abels and company. Sam Houston knocks off North Shore 12-3 in that game. And we were going to look on, let's look at Glenbrook and see if we can find the Apache softball. Let our man Eric take you through a little bit of the play-by-play while we work on scores. Morris
with a line drive right to the shortstop, Davis, who gloves it for out number 2.
Let's take a look at it here one more time. And again, just 2 hard-hit balls, but they have been right at Lady Eagle
Morris
defenders.
with a line drive.
Yep, both defenders having them played perfectly. And again, they know, they got scouting reports. They know what they've done in previous at-bats. So they'll shift a little bit depending on who's up. Well, there's a nice rise ball right there that blows it right by her, does Methvin.
Yeah, good looking pitch there. 12-2, Glenbrook over St. Ed. They're going to advance to it's the middle of the 4th, but it looks like they're going to advance to that quarterfinal matchup, and the winner of that game plays the winner of this game. If Glenbrook holds on and wins, then Menard or OCS will make that trip to Minden and home of the Glenbrook Lady Apaches. Well, we did a lot of updates yesterday, Eric. I don't think we're going to be able to do that, but we'll go live tonight and just talk about everything that we've seen so far today, and we've seen a bunch of it. So Glenbrook, the number 2 seed, rolling along in that one. That one pushed over to the right side, giving chase is now Albanian, but she's unable quite to get to it, and that's just a loud long strike 2. There you see the Eagles nest where the boys play baseball. Behind us, that's that Eagles on there. That is the home dugout for the Eagles along the first base side. They are done playing at Menard this season. They will be on the road the rest of the way, it looks like, barring some unforeseen circumstances, but Methvin rocks back, delivers this one up and out of the zone, evens things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Be big for Menard right here and Methvin to go 1-2-3 after getting those 2 runs in the last half of the inning to keep all the momentum. Don't give them any chance right here in this inning and get back to the plate.
That one lifted high, and Albanian calls everyone off. She'll get that, and that will retire the side. That pop fly take us to the break. We'll be back headed for the bottom of the 5th inning. Lady Eagles off of their 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th. They lead this one 8-6 when we come back.
The side, that pop fly.
Kaylee Methvin will lead things off in the bottom of the 5th. 2-run lead here in this one, so no real, you wouldn't think, danger of anything ending right here. I've seen some things put together. It is a final over across the subdivision. Lady Trojans win it 11-5. Central Private now the 5 seed in this division, is knocked off Cedar Creek with an 8-5 win there. So, boy, there's been some upsets along the way. That one in there for strike 1, evens things up at a ball and a strike. So you come out, you give up the big inning, you get a couple of runs back, and then you come back clean again. You want to add some more onto it here. That ball started out in the middle of the plate and just dives off of it.
65 pitches now from Price, and she's battled now. She's really kept them in it. Big offensive inning, and she's continuing to to kind of keep this team at bay, not panicking. Only 2 runs in that last inning. Could have been more.
But you look at the number of pitches now, 65 that she's got, and their starting pitcher threw, Kaylin Head threw a number of them before she was chased in the second inning. So these Lady Eagles have probably seen close to 100 pitches in this game. That one, 2 balls and 2 it fills it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, really good pitch there at 3-1 at the knees. Methvin takes it. She does get the call, does Price, and now we're full.
Fouled back, and that's one of those that you can let go if it's not exactly what you want, because oftentimes you're going to pull that and pop it up, and it's going to be a fly ball to shortstop or third base, and you'll be out of things.
Yep, when you're ahead, you can be selective. That's a good foul off right there and a pretty good pitch. Kind of looked like a little off speed that Methvin is able to get a piece of, and you want to be careful here. You don't want to give her anything too good to hit.
That one lifted sky high, and shortstop is there. That's Stormy Mike that's got that one, and that will retire Kaylee Methvin to lead things off.
Methvin looked like she's running a little gingerly right there. You can see her running back to the dugout, and I'm not sure if she pulled something on that swing, but that was a pretty good pitch to hit right there. She just got under it.
That's going to fly there, and Mika Keogh will step in. Keogh 1 for 2 on the day, and what did we lose there? It's a shot up the middle, off her knees, throwing across, and no good. We've got to find out what happened to our camera. Did it go unplugged there, or what happened to it? You didn't unplug it there. The power's on the camera. There we go. We're back. All right, so what you missed was Mika Keogh's second base hit of the game. Heck of a job over there by Mike at shortstop, who from her knees tried to come up throwing. We apologize for that, but again, this weather has been a little tricky on us too, and so it plays havoc. But Mika Keogh now 2 for 3, and when you get 2 for 3 out of the 9 spot, that's good for you.
Shelton up now 1 for 1. Had a nice solid single oppo last time up.
Yep, walked her first. Actually, she hit that double back here in that last time up and walked her first time at bat. Came around to score one of those runs. It's probably 8, 9, 10 games ago. That one up and out of the zone, and nothing doing by Keogh there, so 3-0. But in one of their player-only meetings, or one of their team-only type of meetings, she said, look, we've only got a few games left. Let's crank this up and go back and get another one. She had come off that long run in basketball, that ended in a heartbreaker. Lost that game to Oakdale that proved to be the district championship game, and then spun around, and here it is. But they are clicking on all cylinders in a tough draw at the 7 seed.
Yeah, squares around that time. Just a little distraction, trying to draw a walk there and move that runner into scoring position. Price delivers.
This time, that's out towards left field, going to be gathered in, and poked that one, but just right out to left field, and that will be the second out of the inning on a 3-1 pitch. Lady Indians pick up a couple of runs. They lead it 7-0 in the top, or 7-5, top of the 6th over Acadiana. Rocks back, fires this one, lifted high, and going to get just over that net there near its first base and drift away.
Yeah, Morris had Sawyer played perfectly that time. I think she moved over a little bit into the gap, and Sawyer hit it pretty good. Drives it again to left field. Morris brings it in for out number 2. Now Davis 1 for 2, digs in, fouls off the first pitch. Keogh still at first. Look out, Doug.
That one's lifted
Look
back.
out, Doug.
Yeah, it's at the warning track is all that it is right there in front of us. I did hold on in that one. That was a long fly ball, but you're right. It was right in our wheelhouse. That will retire the side. So no runs in the bottom of the 5th. We move to the top of the 6th. We'll be back right after this. the top of the 6th inning. Rapon made the last out, so leading things off for Green and then Frith. So Green, Frith, and Rapon due up here. Brienne, Green. 1 ball, no strikes there as we play in the top of the 6th, 8-6. Lady Eagles trying to get out of a dangerous 7-10 matchup here. That one, 2 hops. Second big hit of the day. You remember she was the one that went on that play from third base and was caught at home. But that's two big-time base hits there by Green.
Yeah, she's hit the ball hard, and that's a great start for them in this inning right there. Deep shot in the gap, stand-up double. Tie and run to the plate.
This is in the form of Elia Frith. Spins that one, kind of that screwball effect as it just dives in towards Frith there. 1 ball, no strikes. Methvin again says, just look, y'all, come on, we'll get it. There's a ground ball going to tag. We're gonna have to tag. Does it, and out they go. Big time play, and we'll see if we have it again here on the screen. We'll take a look at it one more time. It's going to be a little bit of a lengthy one, but I mean, that's right in front of the third base, and that's the benefit of having those 3 officials out here like they do. Once that ground ball over, tried to tag, and instead just has to throw that way. Quick tag is made, and that will be out number 1. And so fielder's choice allows Frith to reach. That's the second time that Green has been out on the bases. Green, the designated player tonight in this one, and that gets us back to the top of the lineup, and Kennedy Rapond, who swings through that one for strike 1.
And that's a big play, too, because you had a little speed at the base pad. It wasn't hit very hard. It had to be a throw across, but you gotta be disciplined and stay at second base. You got to stay in scoring position. You can't get thrown out at third with nobody out right there. I think it's a base running mistake for the other Lady Eagles.
Looking, so, and that's 2 of them. The one when she on the ground ball going home, they got her there. But a ball hit to your right side from second base, you got to stay. That's correct.
Make sure it gets through. Behind you, you can go. But in front of you got to make sure it gets through, and you can't get thrown out right there.
That one misses low. That'll make it 2 balls and a strike.
Now 1 out, runner at first. That 2-run lead, 2-1. Double play in order. Be tough to turn it over with the speedy lefty up to bat.
Top of the lineup here, and Gracie Price is that one slapped back into that fence behind the catcher Kate Perotti, and she'll retrieve it and get it back in, and that evens things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Or for the runs that have been there, it's been some good hitting. It's been some good fielding at times in this one. It looks like a win or go home playoff game. Methvin now set to deliver this one. Pulled over to first base, right steps and tries to throw, but doesn't do it. And I tell you why she didn't throw.
She saw 9 right in the base path.
Because all you do at that point is slow it down and hit it in the back, and you certainly don't want to do that.
Yeah, and it's a big play, though. You get the out. You got to have the out. She could have fielded that one and thrown to second base, maybe throw it over or, again, hit the runner. Get the sure out as you're up 2.
In the 6th.
Get the out.
You're counting outs at this point.
I like that play by Wright. That's smart.
Yep, Addie Wright, and ripped down the line.
Look out, Blue.
Oh, come on.
Look out, Blue.
Our man is in danger in the field over there to be careful.
It's high stepping. A little prime time.
Those that know that field umpire see exactly what I did there. Our buddy Sam over there at third, and he went back and watched this, so a big shout-out to our friend.
Where's this crew from?
Lafayette. They're the Lafayette region is where they're up from. That one fouled straight back. Just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road.
No doubt.
Season comes to an end for Turlings Catholic. They lose 11-5 to Alexandria tonight. And, boy, again, we'll talk about it. That's just your seeding is based on where you're playing, but the starting pitcher, and you know what pitching does for a team in softball. And so to have your pitcher out for the final 30 days of the season or 20 days of the season, you drop down in the rankings, and, man, that's got a big team lurking down there at number 8.
What injury did she have, Duh?
It was the leg. That's what it was. She was having some trouble there, and when you're pushing off, Sabine State Bank strikeout ends things here, and we'll take a look at it to get us to the break. We'll be back right after this.
Yeah, duh. I was leg. That's what it was. She was having some trouble there, and when you're pushing off, Sabine State Bank strikeout ends things here, and we'll take a look at it to get us to the break.
Back here we go. Leading things off for the, let me flip my book. That would probably help just a little bit. And looks like Parkin Albanian stands in. Drago would be next. We'll get the number for you and just look. Yeah, that's... No, that's Kenzie Lyles that's there, is who that is. So Lyles, Wright, and Parati due up in this one. They have hit the ball well, too. Lyles 0 for 3, though, on the day. Pounds that one over there. And as much as Coach Turney is pointing fair, he's not going to get that call. He hands the shades over to the third base. Boy, I've seen a lot of it. Seen a bunch. That one, however, is a foul ball. Nothing in one. That Spider having a good time on that in between the bars of the scaffold that we're sitting on, building that web, and I don't think I've ever been that close to one. Swung on and missed. Good-looking fastball.
Big first out there from Price, as Menard would love to scratch one across, maybe a little insurance run for Methvin, but Price has done a pretty good job other than the big inning, keeping him at bay.
Yep, and the thing is, she came in at the end of that one. That was not her that started that. Kaylin Head started the game and got pulled right about the time you were getting in. We had our Tire Discount Center pitching change. So you go back to Kaylin Head, and let's take a look back at the combined pitches between the two of them. Methvin, we said, was at 92. Yeah, Kaylin Head, who started this one, went one inning, gave up 4 runs, 4 earned runs, only 1 hit, 4 walks in that game, and she threw 28 pitches, only 11 of them in the strike zone. So 82 from Price and 28 there, about 110 pitches in to this one. 2 balls, no strikes to Addie Wright. Pokes that one back, and it's 2 balls and a strike now.
Price continuing to throw strikes. And that's what you need to do. Those walks will kill you. Free passes always come back to haunt you. Throw it in the zone. Try to get strikeouts, but let your defense play behind you. There's no defense for a walk.
Got to let them work some. Rocks back and delivers this one up and out of the zone. 3 balls and a strike. And again for Addie Wright, 3-1, 2-0. That's the kind of pitches that you want to hack at.
Yep. 2 for 3 is Wright. And now 3-1. Good pitch to hit right here. Price better be careful.
Pushes that foul, and that'll fill things up. That's not often a pitch that you want to cut at on 3-1. You want one of those middle end that you can pull and get up into the airflow. And it's an outside pitch that she fouled off. That's more kind of a protect pitch.
And both teams must work on going opposite field because they've done a nice job of driving the ball to the other field and getting some solid contact and some hits, and she draws the walk.
Yeah, that one misses low, and that is the, let's see, combined, that is walk number 5 on the night. Free passes will just get you in a lot of trouble. So Addie Wright reaches first with 1 out. Kate Parati, the catcher, steps in. Kate, 0-2 on the day. Parati, Parker, and Drago would be next should this inning continue. That one in there for a good-looking strike. You look at the top 4 in this division from a year ago, completely different. Again, Riverside Academy. That one lifted out into
trouble.
Right field,
Oh,
sliding
nice
and making
play.
a catch. Wow.
And doubled her up.
Let's go back and take a look at that double play. And, wow, here we go. You see this ball hit over towards right field, goes up and makes the play, and off and right slides, has the wherewithal off her knee to get up and throw that out, and that is a beautiful play. That'll get us to break. We move to the top of the 7th. Final opportunity for Ouachita Christian is when we return. We're back here, top of the 7th, final opportunity for Ouachita Christian in this one. Tioga holds a 7-0 or 7-5 lead. They're in the top of the 7th of that one, trying to advance. Back here, due up Bruce, Mike, and Price. Bruce can swing it. We know that. This is Kelsey Bruce. Takes that one. Kelsey Bruce, 2 for 3 on the day. Stormy Mike is 1 for 2, and Lily Price is 1 for 3. So 4 of the base hits and a couple of RBI out of here. And that one is taken for ball 1. Boy, if you're OCS, you want to do whatever you can to get this leadoff batter on base. That changes everything.
It does, and 2 good takes right there from Bruce. The first pitch just missed low. That one was low and in, not really close. And if you're Methvin, you gotta dig in and do what you can to put the ball over the plate, throw strikes.
That one hammered foul and over and out of play. 2 balls and a strike. 2-0-3-1. That's the one you want to get your best cuts at.
That's it. She was sitting dead red, had a pretty good pitch to drive right there. A little movement on that one as she gets under it and fouls it off into the tennis courts.
Methvin, 2 balls and a strike here on Kelsey Bruce. Again, same spot, same result. 2 balls into the tennis court. Wonder if they're going over there and collecting those. Yeah, they're giving chase to the tennis court for it, and that gets the count even back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And, boy, after going 2-0, Methvin has battled back in this one.
Yeah, 2 really good pitches to get those 2 foul balls. Now let's see who wins the battle here. Back to the sinker, just missed.
Oh, it took a little something off and let it drop out of there. And
good take.
Yeah, no chase at all. That's a tough one to lay off of.
Now we're full. Big at-bat or walk puts the tying run at the dish.
Methvin rocks back, lifted out here to where we are, but Sawyer Shelton camping under it, and she's got it there.
Can of corn.
Lifted
Methvin
out
wins
here to
the
where
battle
we
right
are,
there,
but
falls
Sawyer
behind,
Shelton
but
camping
digs in,
under it, and she's
stays
got it
locked
there.
in,
Can of corn.
and 3 really good pitches. 2 were fouled off. She missed with the third, and then she gets the can of corn to Sawyer.
One down here, and that will bring Stormy Mike. Stormy's had a pretty good day, 1 for 2. It's been brilliant at shortstop, too. Swung through that one, or pulled off of that one, too. She's looked like she's trying to hit as far as she can towards the scoreboard.
And that's just Methvin doing work. A good call from the coach if he called that, because she's sitting dead red. I know she's going to come back with strikes, and, man, pulls the string, the changeup for strike 1.
For the first pitch of an at-bat. Well, kind of that off-speed drop, and leaves it up high on that one.
Welcome in a viewer. We got KP Miles tuned in now.
There you go.
Yes, indeed. Checking in on us.
KP was on the call of that Ash game until the rain hit, and we told you Alexandria wins it 11-5. Inside low, dives in towards Mike at the plate, and that's 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, and Mike has the ability to go gap to gap, and she can go oppo or pull something. And
Well, and look, that's what makes baseball/softball the best sport that there is. You got a chip in a chair. Mika Keogh right there again. Oh, she is just having the game of her life, my friend, out there in out in right field and at the plate today.
There's a hard hit ball from Mike too. She drives it oppo.
Keogh right
And
there
again, Keogh has had a great day. Makes that play right there. Had her played perfectly. Didn't have to move very far, but that ball was hit on the screws.
Look, you can look at those. Well, it was right to her. How is that a big-time play? Look, the speed of this game, that's a big-time play, let me tell you.
Agreed.
Lily Price will step in. She takes that one in there for strike 1, and the Eagles fans are starting to feel it now with 2 quick outs in this one.
Price 1 for 3. Done a great job in the circle for Ouachita Christian.
Holy Savior Menard trying to punch their ticket, and a return and a trip up to Glenbrook. That was a beautiful looking pitch. And now it's 0-2 with 2 down. You got your all-state pitcher in the circle, pitched to a state championship. What are you calling here?
I'm going rise ball, something high and hard out of the zone. See if you can't chase, and then come back with something low. Work a little up and down.
Right
She
down
went
the middle
down.
it goes. It goes over to Lyles across the diamond, and that will do it. That is your ball game. We'll look at that one more time. Kenzie Lyles across the diamond to Addie Wright. And you'll
then
see the
come
ground
back with
ball come
something
in
low, work a little up and down.
here, and the
Right
Lady
down the
Eagles
middle
will
it
be
goes.
on the
It goes
way
over
to
to
Minden.
Lyles
We'll let you
across
know
the
when that game
diamond,
is. It's
and
Thursday,
that
Friday,
will
or
do
Saturday
it.
is when it's
That
going to
is-
have to be. But that is your final score. Let's take a look back at the pitching lines on here. Kaylee Methvin goes 7 strong. But it was the bottom of the lineup that did damage in this one, too, and we'll talk about them in just a minute. But an 8-6 your final, 11 hits, 6 runs, only 4 of those earned. Did not walk anybody. Pitched to contact today. We've seen her strike out 10 or 12. She struck out 4. She threw ground ball outs.
She didn't have her best, but she battled. She competed. She did what her team needed her to do. It's a quality start. And you mentioned it a little earlier in the game. It's a quality game. Both teams, not a ton of errors. The walks hurt Ouachita Christian early on, and you can't do that against a good team. And, man, I got to cover them in basketball and come and do a few games here. I love watching these girls play and compete. Coaches do a great job, too.
Yeah, they definitely do. And you see the Lady Eagles make their way out into left field where they like to hang out. We'll zoom in and get an idea, see if we can get away from the ladies that are off to the quarterfinals. Again, and you look at Methvin as walking in. She is visibly limping.
Yeah.
You see
she was
that.
not 100%, but you know what? It's the playoffs. And I guarantee you, she said, Coach,
And
give
she's a
me
senior.
the ball.
There's no doubt about it. Coaches will make their way out in just a moment, but that is a regional round winner for the Lady Eagles. And we'll confer on this just a little bit, but I don't think that there's much doubt in this. And there were several good opportunities. Addie Wright, 2 for 3 on the day with 2 RBIs. Sawyer Shelton, 1 for 2, scored a couple of runs on the day. But And Bell Drago, 2 for 3, a run scored and an RBI. But the day at the plate and in the field that Mika Keogh had, 2 for 3, 2 RBI, had that big hit over here, and the run scored on it, as well as the great work defensively. I got to go, and you see 31 Mika Keogh on your screen right there. That's going to be our Lauren Vaughn LV5K player of the game.
Couldn't agree more. She did a nice job out there, was in the right position. She made a nice play running to her right in the gap across her body to catch a hard hit ball. That would have been a double or a triple, but I couldn't agree more. And she had a nice game, but a great team effort to get to 8, after they give up those 6 with your pitcher not 100%, just battling, putting up those 8 runs, and they advance.
Look, this team has done that, and now it is a road trip to Minden. Don't know if it's Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, but it'll be up there to face Coach Tyler Cox and Savannah Mangrum and Gabby Brown and that big hitting team from Minden, the Glenbrook Lady Apaches.
Yeah, and congratulations to Ouachita Christian, a great season, and they were fun to watch today. Price battled in the circle as well, gave her team a chance to win. They had some clutch hits, some big hits into the gap to tie this sucker up. And then the home team with those 2 runs, and here comes the coach.
That's right.
A little flip there from probably Keogh's little brother, maybe?
No, that's Brad's son there.
Gotcha.
That is in, and they're a big part of
awesome.
A big part of what they do. French Settlement playing tonight. They win tonight 10-0. In their game. So sometime tonight we will go live on this one and keep you updated. But the Lady Eagles from Holy Savior Menard win this one. And Eric, we appreciate you coming by and sitting in on this one after the rain. Got the broadcast from you guys over there.
I knew you had the tarp.
Yes.
I knew you had the
right.
tarp, so I said, I'm going to check in. I'm going to come over here. I always love coming here, man. It's been a great basketball season. Got to do a few games for these young ladies and watching them play softball. A lot of that same fight and competitiveness, and a lot of times you're a reflection of your coach. And I know Coach Witt on the basketball side, and I can't
Coach Brad Turney here.
I've seen him work a little bit on that side too, in the box and in the dugout. So congratulations to the coaching staff as well.
Look, one of the big additions to that staff, of course, Coach Charles is there, Coach Hunter Arthode is there, but Coach Carly Lyles, who joined them this year, played here a few years ago, and one of the dynamics, that's Kenzie Lyles' sister that's on the third baseman, made that final play, a big hitter for him, and said, hey, look, got that sisterly dynamic, but she has brought so much to this team as well, and so I know the coaching staff looks at Carly as a welcome addition there. But guys, what a tremendous home season it has been. That definitely wraps up our home coverage here as the Lady Eagles will go on the road. They had to go on the road to St. Fred last year. If you remember that thriller that propelled the Lady Eagles into the state championship tournament there in Frash, the dash for Frash is in full effect, my friend, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else than perched right out here.
No doubt. Congratulations to them. Let's see what we can do this weekend. Let's find us some games, and I'm available. Let's do something.
There you go. Guys, we will see you on the airwaves soon. And I'll probably be on the air tonight, grab a couple of coaches and just sit up and chat between 9, 10, 11, whatever it is. We went 2.5 hours the other night. My goodness.
Wow.
But, yeah, wow is correct. But that's going to wrap it up here for 2026 from the Eagles Nest, but the story continues. What is the final chapter of it? You'll have to wait and see and follow this ride as it comes out. Congratulations to our LV5K player of the game. That is Mika Keogh. For my man Nick Morrow and Eric Mouton, I am Doug Gann.